KSK Sports here with another Browns video for y'all. Hey, before I get into ground to make up for consider subscribing to KSK Sports. Consider liking the video. I appreciate all the love I've been getting. I think I'm at 660 subscribers. I would like to get to 1,000, so I would greatly appreciate it if you stumbled upon this video. Give it a like, help the algorithm out, and also subscribe if you have not subscribed to the channel. But getting into Browns OTAs, second day of OTAs, media was able to attend the OTAs. Daniel Fusi, he reported that Shedeur, he got some reps with the ones, split reps with Deshaun Watson with the ones. He has some reps with the twos. So he's getting reps with the ones, which he wasn't last offseason in any part of OTAs. Rookie minicamp. Rookie minicamp is really not ones or twos or anything. It's just all the rookies that are there. My bad on that. Apologize. But Browns OTAs, those are organized team activities. Mandatory minicamp, things like that. Shedeur didn't get any reps with ones at all. So the fact that he's able to even get reps with the ones is progress from what went on last year. But it does seem to appear that Deshaun Watson, I believe Daniel Fusi said that he ended the session with the ones. So it does appear that Deshaun Watson is getting slightly more reps with the ones. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. Todd Monken has yet to name a starter. But does Shedeur have ground to make up? It does appear that, Shedeur does have another uphill battle. But I have a lot of faith that Shedeur can close the gap. I also have a lot of faith that when push comes to shove, when Shedeur has to get on that field in preseason action and he's going mano-a-mano with Deshaun Watson, I unequivocally believe that Shedeur will outshine Deshaun Watson. I just don't know how much Deshaun Watson has left in the tank. Now, Deshaun Watson, it might come out that mandatory minicamp, Deshaun Watson could be named QB1 and Shedeur will be named QB2. I'm not going to be surprised or shocked if that happens. Okay, that it's not going to surprise me. It might surprise some Shedeur fans. It's not going to surprise me because I really follow the Cleveland Browns, and it does appear that they are leaning towards Deshaun being first up in QB1. I mean, being QB1 at this time of year when you're in a quarterback competition really doesn't mean a whole lot. All right, it's set in pencil almost. And frankly, if we're going to be honest about it, Deshaun Watson being a veteran, being an 8-year veteran in the NFL, if he wasn't ahead of Shedeur, and I put that in like quotation marks, if he wasn't ahead of Shedeur right now, you would have to question why is he even being considered to be the starting quarterback if he's like so far behind Shedeur being an 8-year veteran. If he was behind Shedeur at this point, you would have to question why is he even a viable option to be a starter for any team. Even the Cleveland Browns. It's like, I understand the situation with my Cleveland Browns. I understand that around the league, people don't really look at the Cleveland Browns in a glowing aspect. I understand that as a Browns fan. I've been a Browns fan essentially my whole life. I understand what it is when it comes to national media, when it comes to national perception on my Cleveland Browns. I fully understand. I'm not one of those Browns fans that has my head in a pillow that is like, hey, why does everybody clown the Cleveland Browns? Why does everybody say these negative things about the Cleveland Browns? I mean, a lot of it is earned by the Cleveland Browns just based on how they've run the organization since coming back in 1999. They've lost a lot of games, and they haven't been well run. It just is what it is. We're trying to change that, maybe with 12, and Todd Monken set a new precedent for the Cleveland Browns, but it takes time to get up to that point where you're at respectability around the league and around national media. It's just not going to happen overnight. But getting back to, Shedeur got ground to make up. I think he does have ground to make up. And, that's not a bad place for Shedeur to be. I don't want Shedeur to be comfortable. A lot of people, they kind of I mean, I don't want to say this, but a lot of people kind of just want the keys handed to Shedeur. And, like, based on Shedeur's play last year, I thought he played solidly based on the circumstance that he had given to him. But objectively, a lot of people are like, hey, man, the numbers are what the numbers are. He didn't, like, solidify himself as QB1. And these are fair critiques of Shedeur. All right, you don't have to go on the deep end and be like, oh, Shedeur's terrible. This guy's never going to be good in the NFL. But at the same time, you can't come at it from an objective perspective where you're like, hey, yeah, nephew got some things to work on. Stuff wasn't going in his favor according to like the talent around him. The PFF grade was what it was. It was near the It was the bottom. He had the worst offensive line to work with. He had the worst receiving core to work with. And he had a coach that really didn't rock with him. So he had a lot of things working against him. Now he doesn't seem to have those things working against him. But he does have a veteran quarterback in Deshaun Watson who was once good. Once upon a time. We don't know what Deshaun Watson can be. All right. All I know is in 2024, when Deshaun Watson was a guy, he went out there and he did not look good. He did not play well. He was 1-6 when games mattered. Now people are hopping on, hey, Deshaun looks good at practice. Like, he should look good at practice. Yeah, I mean, you're telling me a 3-time Pro Bowler who hasn't been good since 2020? You're telling me he looks good at practice? He should look good at practice. I remember Chris Rock was like, when Colin Powell was running for president, he had a joke and he was like, yeah, I knew Colin Powell wasn't going to be president because people were giving him the same compliments. They were saying that he speaks so well. Like, Chris Rock was like, he should speak so well. He's an educated man. Like, why would he speak like, somebody who's not an educated man? So it's like they were giving him the same compliment. It was like, Colin Powell can't be president. They saying giving him compliments like he speaks so well. I analogize that with Deshaun Watson. He should look good in practice. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler. This guy led the league in passing in 2020. It's like, if you have any inkling of being, a quarterback in this league past this year, Deshaun Watson, you should look at least competent at practice. Can we just say that? Just put that out there. Deshaun Watson should at least look competent at practice. I mean, I'm not gonna give the guy flowers for looking good in practice. Apparently, a lot of people in media, national media, some in Cleveland media, they want to give Deshaun Watson flowers for looking good at practice. He should look good at practice. Just like Colin Powell, he should speak so well because he's an educated man. You don't get brownie points for speaking so well as an educated man. You're not going to get brownie points for me, Deshaun Watson, for being a veteran quarterback that looks competent at the quarterback position. That's how you should look. Okay? So, yeah, Deshaun Watson, likely a little bit ahead of Shedeur right now. And that's fine. I mean, we could come out. I mean, there doesn't need to be any shade or hate thrown towards Deshaun Watson from that aspect, but I still believe that Deshaun Watson is a terrible representation of the city of Cleveland. Terrible representation to lead my Cleveland Browns out there to battle. I mean, he has all the off-field stuff. You want to talk about distractions. This guy has 30 SA allegations. I mean, that's not going to go away. I know my guy got baptized in the River Jordan. I understand all that. Kudos to Deshaun Watson. It's like, hey, man, those things still happen, right? Those things still happen. You can't just, like, erase the past. That's not how life works. You can't just, like, hey, I think Chris Rock had another one. He said, KILL, a bunch of kids, but I ate right. Talking about, I think he's talking about the Islam religion and not eating pork and all that. I'm not gonna touch that subject. I'm just relaying a joke that Chris Rock said. It's a lot of Chris Rock jokes I can analogize to life in general. But yeah, Shedeur got ground to make up. Yes, he does. And I don't think it's I'm not switching up. I'm not, I think it's a fair critique to say, hey, yeah, Shedeur not just going to be given a QB1 position. I don't want to say he didn't earn the right to be in competition because I do believe he earned the right based on showing flashes last year. He had a 364-yard game. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. I mean, he was the first rookie quarterback last year to throw for over 300 yards. He won 3 games, including 2 division games. He had the debut. He won a game, which was the first time a Browns quarterback won their debut since Eric Zaire in 1995. So I'm just saying, there's a lot to build upon with Shedeur. At the same time, with that being said, you can also be like, Shedeur going up against a veteran quarterback that has been a former Pro Bowl. Yeah, I mean, Shedeur still has a lot to learn. But I still say by the end of preseason action, all right, Shedeur is going to be the QB1. I wholeheartedly believe that because I believe even if Deshaun Watson is QB1 going into preseason games, I do believe Shedeur will outplay him when the lights get bright. Shedeur has shown in preseason action when the lights are bright, when he was the guy starting. Not the Rams game where you're putting Shedeur in at halftime and you put him in as a relief pitcher. Look, man, Shedeur was not interested in going in and being your relief pitcher. Shedeur is a starter. He's a starter. He's not a relief pitcher. You need to go with Shedeur from the jump. I'm afraid Todd Monken might go with Deshaun Watson because that's the safer option. He's the first-time head coach, which makes a lot of sense. It's like, hey, man, I want to secure my job. I'm going to go with the safer decision. I just don't think, that's the right decision. But I understand it from the perspective of Todd Monken being a first-time head coach, playing the odds, playing the safety aspect of it. It is what it is, man. But can Shedeur make up the ground he needs to be the quarterback one when they play on the road at Jacksonville? I wholeheartedly do believe that. I think Shedeur is going to pick up the concepts quickly. I mean, look, man. If Deshaun Watson has any inkling of being even a below average quarterback in NFL, it's like, yeah, he's going to have a leg up as a veteran over a guy that's in the second year in the NFL, Shedeur Sanders. And that's fine to say that. But when it comes to who has the higher upside, who this team needs to be the quarterback, just based on the camaraderie aspect that Shedeur built with the team last year, just based on Shedeur's ceiling being higher than Deshaun Watson at this time currently in their career. Once again, we're not talking about Deshaun Watson from 2020. We're not talking about Deshaun Watson from 2018. We're not talking about Clemson Deshaun Watson. We are talking about current day Deshaun Watson, who has a twice torn Achilles, who has multiple ACL surgeries, who also has a glenoid shoulder issue, which is a pitcher's injury. I don't think there's been a reported case of a quarterback that's had that pitcher type of injury. So we don't know if Deshaun Watson's arm is shot when he has live bullet action in a game. Sure, when you're in a controlled practice, it's like, yeah, you can control that. But when you're in a game, you're in preseason action, you're playing against another team, you're playing in a regular season game, you're going full speed, you're not going 65% in shorts. Yeah, it's a lot different when you're going through that than when you're going at practice. I'm just worried if you put Deshaun Watson out there, it's going to look similar to what it looked like in 2024. I'm just saying, that is a real possibility. And as a Browns fan, I don't want to see that. I would rather have Shedeur go out there, build his way up, and then by, week 5 or 6, it's like, all right, man, the Browns might be 2-3, but Shedeur is getting his bearings and they start getting on a winning streak. And then, they might be competing for a wild card berth. I'd rather have him grow through the season than for him to be in a role where he's a relief pitcher again. But it's a little bit different this time because Shedeur he is getting reps with the one. So I don't think he's going to be like he was in that Ravens game where he's like a fish out of water, where it's like, we know this ain't nephew. I mean, but how do you think a quarterback is going to look when they're thrust into action, didn't have any rapport or camaraderie or reps with the ones? It was going to look like what it did. You saw when Shedeur had a week of practice against the Raiders, a game I was at. He looked like he knew what he was doing. The offense flowed. They scored 24 points. Probably should have scored 30 points. I mean, you kick a field goal you punt the ball on the 29-yard line instead of kicking a field goal to go up 17 points, which I had head scratcher still. And then you got Jerry Jeudy fumbling the ball like in plus territory, which probably would have been another field goal at bare minimum, maybe another touchdown. So that game should have been like 30-10 if we're being honest. But that's all I have. I'm at the almost 15-minute mark. I'll end it right there. KSK Sports, rolling out. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.